Some regrets don't hurt immediately. They wait. They wait quietly for years, and then one day they hit you all at once. This is the story of a son who ignored his father for years and only remembered him on the day of his funeral. Daniel grew up in a small, quiet house with his father, Mr. Scott. His mother died when he was very young, so it was just the two of them. His father wasn't rich, he wasn't educated, but he worked every day as a carpenter. Rain or sun, sick or tired. Every nail he hit, every table he made, every chair he fixed was for one reason, so his son would never suffer. When Daniel was a child, his father used to walk him to school every morning. But as Daniel grew older, something changed. He started feeling ashamed of his father's old clothes, ashamed of his rough hands, ashamed of his small, noisy workshop. When his classmates asked, "What does your father do?" he would answer, "He works in an office." That was the first lie. Daniel was smart. He studied hard, got a scholarship, went to university. His father sold his tools to support him. On the day Daniel left for school, his father hugged him and said, "No matter how far you go, this will always be your home." Daniel smiled, but he never really meant to come back. After graduation, Daniel got a good job in the city. Nice apartment, good salary, new friends. At first, his father called every week. Daniel would answer, sometimes, then once a month, then once in a while, then not at all. When his father called, Daniel would think, "I'm busy, I'll call him later." Later became weeks, weeks became months, months became years. Back in the countryside, Mr. Scott was getting older. His back started to hurt, his hands started to shake, his eyesight started to fade. He still kept Daniel's room clean. He still cooked too much food, as if someone was coming. Sometimes neighbors would ask, "When is your son coming to visit?" He would smile and say, "Soon," even though he hadn't heard his son's voice in years. One day he tried to call Daniel. The phone rang, and rang, and rang. No answer. That was the last time he tried. One morning, Daniel was in his office when his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost ignored it, but something made him answer. The voice on the other end said, "Is this Daniel, Mr. Scott's son?" Daniel said yes. The voice paused, then said, "Your father passed away last night." The world stopped. Daniel said nothing. After the call ended, he sat there for a long time, staring at nothing. Then he told himself, "I'll go for the funeral, that's enough." When Daniel arrived at the funeral, people looked at him strangely. Some whispered, some shook their heads. At the house, everything looked smaller, quieter, colder. Inside the room was his father's coffin. Daniel stood there, not knowing what to feel. Then he noticed something. On the small wooden table beside the bed, an envelope with his name on it. Daniel opened it. Inside was a letter written with shaky handwriting. "My son, if you are reading this, it means I am gone. I'm sorry if I ever failed you. I just want you to know I was always proud of you. I kept your room the same. I kept your books. I kept your childhood drawings. I told everyone my son would come back one day. Even when I was sick, I kept waiting. Even when you didn't call, I kept waiting. Don't feel guilty, just live well, and remember, you were always enough for me." Daniel's hands started shaking. For the first time in many years, he cried. Not small tears, he broke down. He walked into his old room. Nothing had changed. His school bag was still there, his old shoes, his childhood drawings on the wall. That's when he understood something too late. His father never needed his money, never needed his success, never needed anything. He just wanted his son. Some people wait for funerals to remember love. Don't be that person. If your parents are still alive, call them, visit them, before the only time you show up is to say goodbye. If this story touched you, subscribe for more real-life stories about family, regret, and second chances. And remember, don't wait until it's too late.